Saluton, and welcome to Esperanto Explained. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite parts of Esperanto, correlatives. In Esperanto, they're called tabelvortoj, table words, because there is an easy table that you can use to chart out what each of these words means. You can find it on the Wikipedia page for Esperanto vocabulary, if you would like, if you're more of a mathematical, logical kind of learner. So, the reason that the correlatives are my favorite is because even though there's 45 words in this list, holy cow, you only have to remember 14 things. You only have to remember the edges of the table. So that's what we're going to practice today. This might be slightly longer than usual, so bear with me. Each correlative has a beginning part. You've already learned this one before, I'm sure. Ki, as in kio. And you can see at the bottom here, we've got kio is what? Thing. So, what? That is kio. And you might have also learned the word tio, that thing, that. If you've noticed that a lot of these question words and the answers to the questions seem to follow a certain pattern, but you've been trying to figure out what that pattern even is, I'm your girl. So, we have 5 beginnings. Ki is our question word. That means what? Ti is our answer words. It means that. It's pointing out the specific answer to that question word. I means, I don't know, some. Chi is the beginning that means every, all of it, everyone, each. And neni means no. Remember, none of these 5 is a whole word. These are each a half of a word. You have to have the ending part for the whole correlative to make sense, for the word to make sense. The beginning is saying whether the subject is unknown, kio. So, kio, using the basic O ending, which is just, it's O, so it's a noun, and we don't know, it could be, you know, kio, what thing? We've got tio, that thing. We've got io, something. We've got chio, everything. And we've got nenio, nothing. So, that's how you would use them with the o ending. But we also have other endings. I'm going to use them with the question starter just to help us understand it a little bit better for simplicity's sake. So, kia is asking what kind, what quality of thing. For example, what kind of drink is that? Kia drink is that. Then we have the AL endings. Gotta get my little papers right. The AL endings are asking for a reason. So, kial, what reason, would be why. And then you could give the answers, tial for that reason, ial for some reason, nenial for no reason, chial for every reason. The endings are about time. So kiam, what time, is when. Tiam, that time, would be then. Iam would be sometime. Chiam is always. And neniam is at no time, never. The E endings are about place. So, kie, what place, where? And then you would have tie, which would mean there, that place. And you would have ie, someplace, somewhere. Chie, every place, everywhere. And nenia, no place, nowhere. Did you notice I got lazy with my pronunciation for a second there, and it turned into a different word? Be very careful of that. You have to pronounce these correlatives carefully. Our next ending is el, which is the manner or what way. So kiel, in what manner, in what way, would be how. TL would be in that way. EL would be somehow. Chiel is in every way. And Neniel is in no way. Then we have ES, which is related to association or belonging. So that kies would mean, who does this belong to? Whose is this? TS, it's that person's or it's that one's. ES, I don't know, it's someone's. GS, oh, that's everyone's. And NES, no one owns that, it's no one's. Next we have om. Om is about amount. So our word kiom means what amount, how much. It can be like, how much does this cost? How much do you weigh? It can be how many, what amount is in how many of those do you have? And kiom, we've got a special little thing because we have to say how much of something. Likewise with tiom, that amount. We have two different words for of, you might remember. De and da. So, how do we know which one to use? If I'm saying kiom da, then I'm talking about something that's not specifically countable. I can't count out how much water I have in my cup. So it would be kiom da akvo. But I can count how many apples I have. There's a specific definite number of apples I have. So that one might be kiom de. It's mostly a little thing, but it makes you sound smart if you get it right. So, kiom is how much or how many. Tiom would be that much or that many. Eom would be some amount. I don't know. We've got some. Chiom is all the things, every amount, all of it. And neniom would be none of it, no amount. We have no amount of apples. Neniom da apples, de apples. I'm getting it wrong here on the video. Next, we have the U ending, which is about a specific individual. Now, it's common to get confused between the O ending, what thing are we talking about here, kio, and the U ending. The best way I can explain it would be to say either that kio, because it's got that O ending, you can remember it's a noun. It stands on its own. What? And kiyu acts more like an adjective a lot of times. It's not just what, it's more like which. Sometimes it can be who. Kiyu, what individual? Who is that person? Which person is that? And tiyu can be that specific individual, that person, or that thing, that particular thing out of a line of things. Kiyu is usually not just naming the person. Like if I ask, Kio estas tio, I'm asking, what is that thing? And you might say, that's an apple. But if I'm asking, Kiu estas tiu, then I could be asking, what person, I could be asking, kiu pomo estas tiu, which would be a confusing question because I'd be asking, which apple is that? And it usually indicates that you're pointing at something. So there's that. But kiu and tiu and iu and chiu and neniu, a lot of times they act like adjectives. You're talking about one specific instance of something. And if you don't say which noun you're applying this adjective to, people will often assume that the implied noun is person. So if I ask, kiu estas tiu, most people would assume that I mean, kiu homo estas tiu homo. What person is that person? Which would be who. So you have question words, ki. Pointing out words, ti. Indefinite, I don't know, some words, e. All the words, chi. And really negative no words, nani. Those are the beginnings. And the endings would be a, if it's talking about what quality or what kind. Al, if it's talking about what reason, why, that's why. Am is if it's talking about time, when, then, sometime. E, if it's talking about place, where, there, somewhere, everywhere, nowhere. El is talking about what manner, what way. Kiel, tiel, somehow, or how, that's how, somehow. S is talking about ownership. Kies, whose. O is just labeling something. Om is amount, and you can use the om words with da if it's indefinite and you don't know exactly how much it is, or de if it's a specific countable amount. That's a general rule. You might find exceptions. I'm sorry. And u is if you're pointing out a specific individual of a certain type. And those are our correlatives. Congratulations! Now you know 45 words that maybe you didn't before.